Good morning, team. Team Hibagon. I have assembled you together this morning to make an announcement. We now know what these lines are. This system of lines on the western flank of Mount Hiba, home of the Hibagon, the Japanese Bigfoot. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a solar calendar. Now that was my hunch, but I didn't know how to test it. Mike Ayinger. Hi, Mike. Mike sent me to Sun Earth Tools app. I'm sorry, Mike, I wasn't able to find that, but I got this Luna Sol Cal, which is good. We have two apps testing the same thing. Now, this is hard for me to use, to know what I'm looking at, and I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking at. Well, I'm getting used to it, but it's hard for me. I'm dumb at this stuff. Mike, on the other hand, was quietly moving ahead, testing out my hunch, and making the following discoveries that I am going to now share with you all. Okay, I have my app positioned at the radial line starting point. I think it's called the Vertex, V-E-R-T-E-X. If I'm wrong about that, someone please correct me. All right, team. There is no way, no how, that this line lines up so nicely with the sunrise on the winter solstice. And, same time, same place, this line lines up beautifully with the sunset on the winter solstice, the same day, the shortest day of the year. And this is just by accident. No. It's a calendar. It's a gigantic, monumental, mountain-sized calendar. This line, of course, we've seen, lines up with the center or peak of the Tate-Eboshi cone. Mike found out that it also lines up with the sunset on the vernal equinox, the spring equinox. Well, that's it. 3 confirmations. I'm sure we'll find more. But in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. 3 witnesses here testify that this is a solar calendar. Mike, I'm sorry I was slow figuring out this app. Thank you for showing me and being patient with me. It is my honor to nominate you head of our astronomy department. You are, if you agree, you are the sky clerk, Mike. The sky clerk. So, the lines are a calendar. Mount Tate-Eboshi is connected to the calendar. And we've seen this before too. A line from the peak or center of Tate-Eboshi through this big open circle here, which looks like a doorway, also lines up with sunset on the winter solstice. I had a visitor today, an academic man, a longtime friend. He wanted my help with something. Now, this slowed down my barbecue preparations, and in the end, we didn't have a Halloween barbecue after all. The party still went ahead, just with a standard campfire. Well, that was fine. We still had a wonderful time. And my friend and I had a good meeting. I helped him out. And then I showed him our solar calendar. And he was amazed. He went home and spent several hours on it. Now, this man has research tools and skills and paid subscriptions to journals and archives that we don't have. But he was unable to find out anything about it. Nothing is written about it. He is now the 5th Japanese that I have asked to research this and find out anything, and all 5 have come up empty-handed. Mike and everyone on Team Hibagon, I'll tell you what I think. I think this is a world-class archaeological discovery. Now, is it Hibagon related? Well, it's Mount Hiba related. It takes up one whole side of Mount Hiba, and Mount Hiba is most certainly Hibagon related. On the other hand, who even cares? Because this is amazing in itself. Now, someone asked me why I say these lines are ancient. Someone called Jody. Well, if they had been created in historical times, I told her, then they would have been recorded in history. Someone would be bragging on this thing. Someone would have put their name on it. Also, these lines are tied in, totally tied in with all these other ancient prehistoric megaliths and the Tateiboshi cone, and these things have been known to history for hundreds of years, all the way back, with no origin. So yeah, they're all ancient and prehistoric. Okay, now someone said he thinks these lines must be maintained, currently maintained. Now I get it. It's hard for me to imagine how and why the tree cover just doesn't fill them in and hide them. But I don't think they are maintained. That would be an enormous undertaking, which, well, A, who could afford it? Who could afford that effort? B, who would be able to do it? And C, how could it go unnoticed? You couldn't hide that. Look, here is the Stone Mountain bas-relief. This is the biggest bas-relief in the world on Stone Mountain. It's big. And here it is at scale. It would take you an army of men to keep the trees trimmed. And you'd have to have them up there every year. No, I think the lines are self-maintaining somehow. I don't know how. It's my guess. I don't know anything, and you don't know either. We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody in the world knows yet. Everything, almost everything, is still speculation at this point. Except its purpose. It is a solar calendar. It even looks like the rising sun. Okay, wonderful work, Mike. Congratulations. Now, thanks to our mystery donor, our mystery patron, our shy mystery patron, we now have 4 trail cameras. We are set to deploy 4 trail cams. Now, listen to this. My juvenile Hibagon-sized wife is going out to dinner tonight with some lady friends. This is their ladies' night. They try to have their ladies' night once a month and haven't been able to do it for a while because of these guys and their havoc and panic. But the ladies are going out tonight. Now, the girls and I, we're going to have our own little party at home, and we're going to try to set up one trail cam in the garden, the front garden, and we'll try to catch Mommy when she comes home. So we'll test a trail cam tonight on my unsuspecting wife, and we'll tell you how that goes. If you want to fund a trail cam, help us field another, and have a say in where to put it, get in touch with me. Now, thanks to all of our donors, we have a good camera. It hasn't arrived yet, but it'll get here soon and I'll show you. Mike Anger, congratulations. Firmament Clerk. Help us, Mike, to coax more secrets out of this weird, mysterious mountain. A creature is part of its habitat, and the habitat is part of the creature. A bit of old varmint hunter wisdom, recycled wisdom for you there, just to remind you. Mount Hiba. Hiba monster. Hibagon. Japanese Bigfoot. Mike, could I ask you to email me, please? Could you please email me? There are one or two things that I'd like to talk about with you privately, not so much privately away from Team Hibagon, but privately away from the Eye of Sauron. Okay, thank you everyone here on Team Hibagon. You are all important. You are all a part of this amazing discovery, unfolding in real time. And Shobara City Hall, I owe you an apology. I thought you were being unresponsive, and you are, but you're not hiding this. You just don't know what you're sitting on. But don't worry, Shobara City Hall, we're going to figure out this thing a little more, and then maybe by next year, I'm going to come up there and make an appointment with you and lay this out for you. This is part of the national heritage, and I think world heritage. Mike, maybe you'd like to come up with me and visit City Hall next year. Okay, everybody, thank you. Have a Hebatastic weekend. Bye-bye.